This woman just took one look at the floor and spotted a massive blunder in the police investigation. Last night a shadow slipped into the museum without a sound. In a heartbeat, $20 million worth of art vanished. The piece taken was the world-famous masterpiece girl on the windowsill. To settle this major case, the insurance giant sent in their ace appraiser Reese. Meanwhile, Gil came back with some bombshell intel. By tracking alumina residue at the crime scene, he found the thief is a veteran who always uses the same tricks. This guy always uses the same signature move, swiping dozens of world-class paintings over the last few years, because he made a name for himself in Paris. People in the biz call him the Robin Hood of the art world. 5 years ago he botched a job while stealing an original Picasso. In that struggle he was shot in a vital spot by security. It left a permanent gunshot scar on his shoulder. But the crazy part is, no one has been able to unmask this guy yet. Reese, however, just scoffs at the idea. He thinks Robin Hood is a total myth. This is just a story about a master thief, cooked up by incompetent cops to cover their tracks. After hearing this, Morgan had to admit, that logic is actually pretty hard to argue with. Suddenly Daphne dug up a new lead from the archives. Not long ago someone was making a huge fuss in court, insisting the painting was actually their family heirloom. The investigation team immediately rushed to the person's house. The plaintiff was a gray-haired Polish lady, going back to the 1930s. Ever since her father bought the famous painting, it had been hanging in their hallway gathering dust. But as the smoke of World War II rose, the treasure vanished in the chaos of war. As they were leaving, Dak caught a glimpse of a photo on the table. It turns out the latter's son is a top-tier gymnast. For someone with those skills, sneaking into a museum would be a total piece of cake. After heading back to the station, Dak immediately interrogated the museum staff. Sure enough, the employees had all seen the gymnast's son. The kid had tried to mess with the painting multiple times, only to be forcibly kicked out by security every time. Putting all these pieces together, the family's guilt is pretty much a done deal. But Morgan felt it wasn't right. To her, the painting should rightfully be returned to its owner. But Dak was also at a loss. Modern police can't settle scores from 80 years ago. His job was to catch the thief from today. Morgan wasn't in the mood to keep arguing. She stared at RHYS's awkward expression, determined this guy was definitely hiding some inside info. Since the officials were a dead end, she decided to find the stolen painting before anyone else, and personally return it to the old lady. The two of them secretly went to a meeting point. Ironically, the location was the museum where the crime happened. But after waiting for ages, the so-called mysterious informant never showed up. Since they were already there, they decided to climb onto the roof to try and replicate the thief's break-in route. The skylight was made of special one-way glass. That meant the thief couldn't see what was happening inside at all. Wasn't he worried that a guard might be standing right below when he broke the glass? While they were thinking it over, the roof door was suddenly thrown open. The head of security rushed over. Apparently someone had just dropped off a private letter at the entrance, and it was addressed specifically for Reese to open. Inside the envelope was a photo. It was clearly the stolen girl painting. The thief was asking for $500,000 in cash, with the trade set for 1 p.m. at the park. This was a golden opportunity to crack the case, but the new chief Nick was absolutely furious. Morgan was just an outside consultant after all, without supervision from a regular officer. He strictly forbade her from taking any action, being fellow outsiders kicked out of the loop. Morgan suddenly found Reese a lot more likable. They found a place to blow off some steam. Just as she turned around, she caught a glimpse in the mirror. There was a bullet scar on RHYS's shoulder, exactly the same as the Robin Hood thief.